I just realized that my mic was muted. Isn't that something? Welcome once again. Unbelievable. We've been doing this how many years now, and I still don't unmute my mic. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We are with Lupus in Color, where we're talking about inclusive health solutions. And as always, let's just start with our disclaimer so that nobody is confused about what's going on. Okay, so Lupus in Color, the information and answers provided during Lupus in Color videos and live events are not meant to be used as a substitute for professional medical advice. Information provided may differ from your physician's advice. The information provided and presented is for educational purposes only, to support attendees in the quest to learn more about a most silent disease. So make sure you're checking with your doctor no matter what we talk about. The information obtained in any video or live event is not intended to recommend the self-management of health problems or wellness. It is not intended or to endorse or recommend any particular type of medical treatment. Should you or anyone else that attends these events have any healthcare related questions, promptly call or consult your physician or healthcare provider. No information presented should be used by any attendee to disregard medical and or health-related advice or provide a basis to delay consultation with your personal physician or qualified healthcare provider. Persons accessing this information assume full responsibility for the use of the information and understand and agree that Lupus in Color or its presenters are not responsible or liable for any claim, loss, or damage arising from the use of the information. So we got that out the way. I hope everybody's having a pain-free day. I hope that your Easter weekend was great. But today we're going to be talking with Eriel Brown from Savvy Cooperative about inclusive health solutions. And I don't want to keep her any longer away from you guys. I want you all to meet her and hear what Savvy Cooperative is about. And then you can ask your questions as they come. So I'm going to bring Eriel on up on the stage.
Hello. Hi, Raquel. How are you?
I am so good. I'm so happy to see you. How are you today?
Good. So happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So happy to have you. So you are from Savvy Cooperative, and
Yes.
I know what Savvy is. And I've worked with you guys, and I know that you guys to be a great organization. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about what Savvy is about before I show
Sure.
the slides that you have?
Sure, yeah. I'll give our little story. So basically what Savvy is we are a patient-owned insights company. So what that means is that we are owned by patients and we are also serving patient communities and making sure that their voices are being included in the co-creation of healthcare processes, products, anything that somebody might use. We want to make sure that the patient voice and the caregiver voice has been considered. And so we do lots of different types of projects, which I'll go into in my presentation. But mainly what we're looking for is the patient journey and making sure that patients are at the center of a conversation when we're discussing medical devices, when we're discussing patient care portals, when we're discussing any kind of medication or drug that someone might use. We want to make sure that it has the patient's perspective involved early on in the process. And so I'll talk a little bit about our founders once we get to our story slide, but they're patients as well. And most people in our company are also patients or have some kind of perspective in the medical field. For myself, right now, I don't consider myself a patient. However, my mom and I both passed away on the table when I was born. So I started my life as a patient. And, there were a lot of things that my mom was going through. She has high blood pressure, and that's something that runs in my family and something I'm very cognizant of. And so, there's lots of things that I can kind of connect and tap into the medical system with in my experience. So that's why this work is really important to me, because I don't want what happened to my mom and I to happen to anybody else who is trying to get help or care in any kind of way. There were a lot of complications with her birth because of the high blood pressure, but also because of things that are because of the system and how the system can be a little bit racist and kind of prejudiced towards people of color. And
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so that's why I'm really passionate about the work that Savvy is doing, because we are not only talking the talk, but walking the walk as far as inclusive healthcare solutions go.
And I think that's what really drew me to you all. That
Yeah,
you all did explain that to me. That it was, patient care with patients involved. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So that's very, very interesting. So I'm gonna share your presentation to the stream. There we go.
Awesome.
And then
Awesome. So
I'll hand it on over to you.
thank you. Thank you. So, as you can see, we are Savvy Cooperative, and we are helping companies to ask patients. That's our whole spiel. You can see on my sweatshirt here, it's did you even hashtag ask patients? That is
Wow.
our main goal, is to make sure that patients and caregiver voices are included in the co-creation process, and early on is our goal. I'll give you a couple examples of projects that we've done in the past further into my presentation, but let's go ahead and keep going from here. And so healthcare has a problem. Companies are wasting time, money, and resources developing products or solutions that don't meaningfully address patient priorities and are too difficult to adhere to. So this is something that our founders and lots of patients that they were connecting with had found, is that a lot of the time researchers and people who are trying to create these solutions are doing guesswork as far as what is actually going to serve the patient communities that these products and treatments are being marketed to. So as you can see, we've got the disconnect thing going on here, that the companies and professionals, they don't have access to diverse patients or innovations that and the innovations aren't inclusive or impactful. And then the patients and caregivers don't have a mechanism to give that input. And so that's why Savvy was created. And that is our solution, is that we consider ourselves to be the match.com of patient insights.
I
So
like
we
that.
are, yeah, yeah, me too. So we're making sure that these companies can be matched with patients and caregivers who have this insight to give, and now can create solutions that actually do serve the communities that they are being marketed to. So like it says here, the patients and caregivers get better tools and treatments, while the companies have an access to a diverse network of patients. That's something that's really important to Savvy, is that diversity, and making sure that we're not speaking to the same people over and over again, because we want to reach as many people as we can to get really rich insights from all of these different people who have different experiences and perspectives. So I'll keep going here. So the story, I'll give a little bit into our founders. So our founders are Jen Horangeff and Ronnie Sharp, and they are both patients. So Jen is a juvenile idiopathic arthritis patient, as well as a brain tumor survivor, and Ronnie is a cystic fibrosis patient. So they've had the patient experience their entire lives, and often found in their work, and Jen, has gone to school to be an academic. Ronnie built one of the largest cystic fibrosis online communities. So both of them were leaders in their field, but found that a lot of the time they were the only ones really being asked for their experience and for their expertise among their colleagues. They found Ronnie in particular was going to a lot of different conferences and things, and found that he was among 10 people who were sitting at a table trying to speak to the patient experience. 10 people trying to speak to the entire patient experience. And, that's of course not relevant, and that's not going to actually help the thousands, millions of people who are going through things on a daily basis. And so that's why Savvy was created, to reach more diverse perspectives and to always bring more people to the table. We say at Savvy that our table is never full, and we're always looking to just reach more people, and we've always got an empty seat at the table that we're trying to fill. And so yeah, that is that. I'll continue
Awesome.
on here. So our recruitment. What we do that I think sets us apart is that we are a patient-owned platform. And so we've got lots of patients who are involved in the process of creating Savvy, who are involved in Savvy as a workspace. And so we've got a lot of connections to other patients because we are them. So we consider ourselves to kind of be a network of networks, and we're looking to always get more people through that word of mouth. So, if we see projects that we have going on, we can say, hey, I know someone who would want to participate in that, and we can share, and then they can share, and then they can share. And that is sort of our secret sauce as far as recruitment goes. We started initially as kind of a patient recruitment company, but we're moving and have moved now toward really doing the research ourselves because we have patient researchers on our team. And we come at things from a very empathetic perspective because of that, because we have people on our team who are patients too and are going through the day-to-day challenges that come with being a patient. And so that, I think, is also what sets us apart from other kind of quote unquote market research or patient recruitment companies.
Absolutely, absolutely. That to me, that feels to me like the most important part, because you don't
Yeah,
feel that people are just trying to get you to participate in different things.
exactly.
It's really a passion for your company.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
I cut you off.
exactly.
Go ahead.
No, 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 but it's kind of a selfish way of thinking about it because we're not
Yeah,
only trying to make it better for everybody, we're trying to make it better for
for
ourselves
us,
too, right?
exactly,
So we're like, if we
exactly.
can do this, then like next time I go to the doctor, I'm gonna be good, you know? So
Right, right,
that's kind of our thought behind it too, is like
exactly.
we just want to make the system better for everybody that has to deal with this. And we know that there are a lot of issues in the healthcare system. And so we're trying to take out the guesswork as far as the research goes and make sure that patients don't feel like another number and that they're just an afterthought. We want to make sure it's at the beginning of this creation process.
Absolutely.
So I kind of talked about this already, but our network reach is kind of like a network of networks, like I said. Savvy is condition agnostic, so we work in all treatment areas. Since our inception, we've already worked in over 350 conditions, and we're looking to continue to work in more. And so that is our goal, is to just let everybody know about Savvy. We've got very ambitious goals, but I think that ambition is really what drives us and is really what kind of keeps us moving and keeps us wanting to continue in this work. And something that I love about Savvy too is, like I said, we aren't trying to speak to the same people over and over, and that about 70% of our applicants do come through referrals. And so we want to make sure that we're reaching those other people, and we're encouraging people who interact with us to share what we do with their friends. And I
Absolutely.
can talk a little bit about how we encourage that in another slide. And so our targeted levels of expertise, there's a time and place for all different levels of expertise, and Savvy helps get them all. So we're speaking to the everyday patient, but we're also speaking to patient advocates and also listening to healthcare professionals. But mostly what our kind of projects focus on is the everyday patient. I think that that's where our heart is. And that's really what we're trying to get, is the patient who, lives in a rural area and might not have access to care like some other people might have access to care, or the patient who is a single mom and doesn't have the ability to go and be on a patient advisory board in person somewhere. We're looking to do things in a very convenient and in a way that makes sure that everybody can be involved. So all of our projects are virtual, and you can participate in either a live kind of Zoom interviews kind of like this, or we also have asynchronous activities so people can do things on their own time.
Awesome.
All right. So this is that recruitment strategy. Again, we've got our co-op members and the people who are co-owned as far as Savvy goes, which is our patients. And then we continue and reach out more people. So that is kind of where I come in as the partnership coordinator for the community, is that we're partnering with organizations like yours who have access to a bunch of different patients who we may not be able to reach as one person or one, company. We try to reach as many people as we can who have access to lots of different people, so that many more people know about us and can participate in projects that we have going on.
Absolutely.
All
So
right.
important.
Yeah, definitely.
Important.
And so this is that diversity and inclusion thing. This is like, I think, one of Savvy's most popular or not popular, that's not the right word, but our most important principle is that
Okay.
we are looking to include more people, and that we're making sure that we're getting a diverse range of perspective. And so that's diversity in clinical trials, like it says. And here's a little bit of an example. A pharmaceutical company wanted to hear from Black, Latinx, and not Native American patients about their experiences or perceptions of clinical trials in a 7-day online workshop to uncover opportunities. And so this is something that we were able to help this company recruit for and then do the research with. And we were specifically looking for these marginalized groups who aren't necessarily always asked for their opinion as far as the clinical trial process kind of goes. And this slide goes into some other experiences as well. But a project that I do want to mention that kind of gives you a very good idea of what Savvy does is we've worked with Amazon to co-create a more accessible Alexa device. So what we did is
Wow.
we sent hundreds of people with a stutter or a stammer an Alexa device and co-created with those patients, with the researchers on our team and with the researchers at Amazon, a patch system that now can be enabled in any Alexa that allows Alexa to actually pause and not respond until someone with a stutter or a stammer has completed a full command. So
Wow.
that's kind of, yeah, it's awesome. It's super cool, but it's something that's very tangible that is very relatable that you can kind of get a great grasp on what we do from. Is we're focused on that experience, and kind of like the online workshop with the pharmaceutical company and the experience in clinical trials. We've got that side of things, but also the experience in how you're using a product. Is this product that is used every day work for patients, So that's really what we're focused on.
That just blew my mind. It
Yeah.
really did, because that's something that people don't really think about,
Right.
because
Exactly.
just the simple thing of, and it's not simple, but stuttering and not having Alexa understand you, even with
Yes.
accents or things like
Yeah.
that, that
Mm-hmm.
is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, shout out to Ronnie. Ronnie's one of our co-founders. Yay. Thank you
Oh,
for
hi,
joining,
Ronnie.
Ronnie. Yes, I agree. You all have been an amazing partner, and I'm so excited to be here to be talking about Savvy with you and getting more people
Awesome.
involved. And thank you,
That is
Tawanda.
awesome.
This is great.
I
All
love it.
right.
I love it.
So let's continue here.
Okay.
So, Savvy's offerings. So, this is sort of what I was going into as far as what we're able to do. And also, my next slide goes into the kinds of projects and kinds of research that we are able to provide for patient communities. So, we recruit and screen. And something that I think sets us apart from other companies too is that we verify every patient or caregiver that comes to us, because we want to make sure that the people who are participating in our projects are who they say they are. We want to make sure we're getting rich and very good insights for not only the patients that are going to be using whatever it is that you're being involved in this one project. We want to make sure that the insights that were gathered at the creation process do serve those communities, and we want to make sure that the people who are doing the research and our clients get that really, really good information. And also, something that I think sets us apart is that we compensate patients for participating in our projects within 24 hours of completing that project. We don't wait for our client to pay us. We want to make sure that they're compensated fairly and quickly. And we also offer for patients to receive that compensation via a gift card, because we understand, since we're patients too, that sometimes someone's disability can be threatened if they're making a certain amount of money. And
I mean,
so
you guys have thought of it
we
all.
really have.
You don't
Yes.
really think about that. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
companies don't really think about that, as far as, you can jeopardize someone's disability,
Yes.
or, how important it is to get money on time and things of that nature. So
Exactly.
you guys are really thinking
Exactly.
about some really great things that are really needed in our communities.
Thank you. Thank you. I absolutely agree. But yeah, so we really are doing this because we are just trying to serve as a resource for everyone. And
Right.
we want to make sure that there's no barrier to participating in what we have going on. And so yeah, thank you. I love this idea. Thank you. I think it's a really wonderful idea. And part of what drew me to Savvy as an employee is that we're really doing these things because we're just trying to help. There's no catch, no strings, no nothing. The only thing that we ask is that you share and get more people involved with what we do. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Who would have thought that Siri does this to help people with disabilities be able to use Siri despite difficulties? Exactly. Yeah.
So important. So important. The work that you all are doing is very important. Fatima says that is awesome.
Thank you, Fatima. Thank you. All
Awesome.
right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, no problem.
Great
So,
information though.
thank you. Yeah. So this next slide is going over what our synchronous and asynchronous types of projects are. So synchronous is like a Zoom kind of one-on-one interview. That's sort of our most common kind of project, is that we're trying to get that one-on-one kind of space and make sure that the patients that participate with us understand that Savvy is a safe space for them to share. And so we've got the one-on-one video conferencing, and then we also have our moderated user experience testing. So this can be moderated by, let's say you're going through and seeing what it's like for a patient portal. Then the company who has that patient portal can view exactly what you're clicking on and trying to figure out if you have any like issues or something, that's something you can communicate to the company right then and there. But the asynchronous, I think, is really what does set us apart, because we want to make sure that we're reaching that single mom who doesn't have childcare and has to do this project at 12 a.m. because that's the only time that they had to be able to do it, you know? And so that's our surveys, our discussion boards, online diaries, concept review, the unmoderated testing. And so, yeah, so we're trying to kind of think of everything as far as the barriers go and make sure that people can really utilize our services in many, many different ways.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that you have all the different ways, because you're hitting all different people.
Yes,
So
yes,
that works very well.
exactly. Yes, yeah. So our most common activities is the in-depth interviews, and then our focus groups and ad boards, and our asynchronous workshops. So that is that. Let's see. So why Savvy? Why be a part of what we do? Savvy is different. We're not your typical kind of company or recruitment company. We are looking to reach more diverse voices and making sure that those voices are verified. What that verification process looks like for a patient or caregiver is just uploading a simple picture of a medication that you might be taking, or if you want to upload a blog post that you've written about your condition. That's something that's absolutely good for us to have. Or if you're a caregiver and you want to upload like a nutrition log that you've been recording for someone, then that's something that is absolutely good for us to have too, as far as verification goes. It's not something that's super extensive. We just want to make sure, like I said, that we're speaking to people who really do have these experiences, because sometimes there are people who could take advantage of what we're doing as far as paying patients and paying them quickly. We want to make sure that we're giving that money and that compensation to people who really are the patients that they say they are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's see. And then we've got our core values here. So you can see that we are we try to be people first and be people with. We're also championing inclusivity, challenging assumptions, innovating with purpose, and having breadth and focus, elevating others, cultivating transparency, celebrating success and growing from failure, and choosing integrity and loving what you do. I think that that's something that you can really feel when you interact with Savvy, is that all of us really do love what we do. It's not soul-sucking work by any means, you
Right.
know.
Right.
We're really here because we've all got some kind of foot in the game, or some kind of thing that we're really trying to strive toward. As I mentioned, like my story with my mom and I, my story is not the only story like that. And I want to make sure that more people who are like us don't go through those sorts of things. And then when you've got the story of Jen and Ronnie, them being the only people that their colleagues were asking for their expertise, they're like, that I can't speak for everybody and their mamas who have cystic fibrosis,
Right.
you know, like I can't do that. I can only speak to my experience. And so that is why Savvy was created. My boss has rheumatoid arthritis and oh my goodness, let's see, type 1 diabetes. And so she is speaking from that perspective and wants to make sure that people know that she's not alone in having both type 1 and rheumatoid arthritis. Before joining Savvy and before being a part of this work, she really didn't know that there were other people who were experiencing that combination of diseases. And so, you know, we're looking to really show people that we are involved and that we all have skin in the game and are trying to get more people involved in that process and let more people know that they're not alone.
Absolutely. And Fatima says your company is definitely addressing barriers and thinking outside the box. I so agree, Fatima. I have lupus. My daughter has sickle cell, and I'm excited to share the information with her because we both have experiences. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes, yes. Thank you for sharing us. I think that you all will really benefit from what we're doing. And we definitely work in both of these treatment areas, both lupus and sickle cell. But something that Savvy also does is we work in mental health. We want to make sure that
Mm,
those uh those kind of areas are addressed too, and we
right.
focus too with insurance kind of things. We've got lots of different projects that happen with us that are focused on those medical conditions, but also are focused on other things. Like we did one project that was men who use an app, because we know that sometimes men in the medical field don't like to ask for help, so we're trying to make
Mhm.
sure that the
Makes
men
sense.
are they can ask for help. So we kind of try to run the gamut as far as the projects that we do.
Absolutely.
So I think
Absolutely.
whoever you are or whatever you are dealing with, you definitely have a place at Savvy and have a place in what we do.
Absolutely. And that led to what Tawanda was saying, that Savvy allows patients to have a voice.
Yes,
And that is so true.
exactly.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you. All right, so let's keep going. So this is a quote that we have from one of our patients. It says, "I love that Savvy Co-op is owned by patients. Many times when you are suffering from an illness, you don't feel that you have any power.
Mhm.
This helps patients, caregivers, companies, and clinicians come together and make positive changes." And I 100% agree. I think that when you don't feel like another number, that really does change how you look at the whole medical industry. We want to
Absolutely.
make sure that nobody feels like they're being overlooked or that their voice doesn't count.
Right, right. Awesome. That's an awesome statement that she said, that many times when
Yeah,
you're suffering from an illness, you feel like you don't have power. Because that's
exactly.
really true.
Mhm.
That's really true. And I'm
Mhm.
happy that Savvy is actually giving patients that power to do that and
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
empowered to really advocate for themselves and
exactly.
let people know what's going on.
Yeah, thank you. I agree. All right. Let's see. So, our platform. This is something that is super exciting about Savvy. So, what we have is that we are making it easy for all users to see available gigs and apply without having to input your information into our system every time. So, what our platform looks like is that we have all of our available projects listed there, and they update each week. And so, you can see that all of our available gigs, and you can also apply to them without having to input your information every time. So when you sign up for a profile on Savvy's platform, you put in your name, you put in your date of birth, and then from there you put in any kind of treatment area that you have experience in. If that's lupus, you can put that. If that's mental health, you can put like depression, anxiety, whatever that might be. If you've got, endometriosis, and that's something that you can put in there. And then what Savvy is able to do is they can send you gigs that are specific for you based on the different treatment areas that you've put in and that you qualify for. And so it's very easy to go on and see the kind of gigs that we have available and also to apply for those gigs. And something that is awesome about this too is that you can see what kind of compensation that you're being paid, and then you can also see the referral reward that you can receive. And I'll speak about referral rewards in our next slide. So, why share our platform? Sharing our platform with your community allows others to use their voices to co create better healthcare solutions. And like I mentioned earlier, at Savvy, our table's never full, and we're always looking to get more diverse voices and perspectives involved in what we do. And I will touch more on referrals in the next one. Actually, that's where it is.
That's fine.
So, so earning rewards. Every participant that comes through your unique referral link will always be associated with you. So that means that you or your organization are eligible to receive referral rewards for any gig those that you refer are selected for and participate in. And so this is part of why we're all, or let me back up. This is why we are making sure that people understand that sharing our projects is really the goal. We're always looking to get more people involved, and you can earn rewards for, how we like to say, giving up your seat at the table. If you participated in a Savvy project already, that is amazing. And we love that you have done that. But we want to make sure that your friend who's your neighbor and doesn't know about Savvy also knows about Savvy. And so, if you refer your neighbor and your neighbor participates in a project with us, then you're compensated for that referral because you've shared Savvy with somebody else and given someone else the opportunity to sit at your seat at the table and to share their voice as well. And so you can see on our platform at that apply.savvy.coop link all of our available gigs and also what our referral rewards are for each gig. It does kind of vary. The reward does vary based on the project, but you can see all of that information at the site there.
Awesome.
All right. And so this is kind of a list of our current clients. We do work, as you can see, in a very wide range of people. We've got the pharmaceutical and biotech companies, and we also have companies like the Wall Street Journal. Really anybody who wants to come and participate in what we're doing, who wants to get those rich patient insights, can come to Savvy and know that they are able to receive that. And so, we partner with these sorts of organizations, but we also partner with organizations like Lupus in Color and organizations that are really tapped into the patient community and are sharing what we do with their community, because we just want to make sure we're reaching as many people as we can, however that can be.
Absolutely.
And so I believe that is it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
A wealth of information.
Yes.
I think it's great. I wanted to touch on something Tawanda was saying because of mental health. A lot of companies are not tapping into that mental health.
Yes.
And she says, you're not always touching on it, but it needs to be spoken about, because I think a lot of us are dealing with that whole mental health issue, dealing with the chronic illness. And we might have had that prior to the chronic illness, but it is surely magnified once you get the chronic illness and have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So thank you for such great information. Great information. We have some questions and some statements. Let's see what we got here. We have, can people outside of the US? I have gotten this question a lot. So
yeah,
a little bit.
Yes. So people outside of the US can participate. Please do make a profile on our platform, because we definitely do have gigs that are looking for people specifically that are outside of the United States. It really does depend right now on our clients, and our clients a lot of the time are based in the US, but we do have projects actually currently recruiting that are looking for people that are outside of the US, looking in the UK or in the EU. So you can definitely participate, and we're trying to get more and more projects in or more and more clients to do that research outside of the US to engage the people that we have on our platform who are living outside of the US. So yes, definitely you can participate.
And that's important, because I think a lot of people, I share a lot of links from different people, but most of them don't do anything outside of the United States. So that's very important. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Thank you. Who's that? Cuz Girly. Oh, okay. I'll get these names right, y'all. Edwina said this is absolutely awesome. I know I'm kind of streaming on Instagram as well. So so if anybody on Instagram has a question, go ahead and type it in and I'll read it out. Fatima says, awesome presentation. I think
thank you, Fatima.
Everything that you all are doing is very important. And I think, could you touch on how your work is really helping different communities, different chronic illnesses? How is it touching that one person? How is it touching the lupus community as a whole? I'll just use our community as a whole.
Yeah. So we actually just had a project that was specific for lupus communities. You were recruiting specifically for people with lupus. And I think that you can see in our Google reviews how it's really touched people, that our projects really have touched people. We get feedback from a lot of people that they really loved that they were able to speak with a project manager, with a researcher that was a patient too. And they love that they were able to be compensated within a couple of hours of completing a project, because that's very different from a lot of companies. A lot of the time it takes some time to get paid for your time, but with us we try to pay as soon as we can. And so that's something that people really love, that you can see in our reviews too. And something that, I've shared these projects with my family before, because as I mentioned, my mom has high blood pressure. I've got other people in my family who have other illnesses and things. I've got friends who have, my roommate actually has or participated in a project of ours. And so I get from just like the people in my life, they really love what we do too, because it's easy to apply. It takes just a couple seconds to put in all of your information and to apply for a gig, and you can apply for many at one time. So you don't have to, just apply for one and then wait until you hear from that one before you can apply for another one. You can
Oh,
apply
that's
for
awesome.
as
So you can
many as
apply
you
for
think
as
you
many
can.
as you want with
Exactly.
different conditions and everything.
Exactly. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. And you guys are also helping chronically ill patients to really have a sense of normalcy and doing a so-called job and receiving compensation for it. Because a lot of times, they're not able to pay for certain things. And sometimes
Right.
doing something for you all and receiving that compensation can help them, whether it be to get medication or even to get food in that time and moment. So that's a
Yes.
very good things that you guys are doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think the gift card option is really attractive for a lot of people too, because sometimes with the direct deposit, if you got auto pay on a bill, it'll go right to that bill,
It's
and
like,
you're
okay, wait
like,
a minute.
right. You're like, wait, hold on. I spent all that time and it's going to my light bill. Like what?
Right.
So I
Oh.
see. Yeah. Yeah. So if you've got that money that you've made and you set it aside for something that's been in your wish list forever on Amazon,
Right.
for example, then you can use that and you can put it towards something that's fun and that you can reward yourself with for completing something and really taking ownership of your healthcare in that moment. So that's
I
something
love
that I
that.
think is
Taking
really cool that we
ownership
do.
of your health care. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because even when we're going through these different things that you might have to do, whether it be a Zoom meeting or
Mm-hmm.
going through the questions, we're helping not only ourselves, we're helping other people,
Exactly. Yes.
and we're
Yeah.
helping the companies to contact and really, I guess, help.
Yeah, it changes their frame of reference because
Yeah.
they work with us and they're asking the patients and they're like, why didn't we do this before? And it seems so simple. It seems like it's such a simple thing to ask patients, but a lot of the time they aren't. And so,
Yeah.
we're trying to change that and make sure
Yeah.
that they are and that they aren't doing that guesswork, because it's important to make sure that patients are involved early and are involved continually, like with Alexa was
Mhm.
created and then we were able to work with them to make it better. We're looking to continue to do that with other companies as well.
I'm still blown away from that.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that you think of. It really isn't.
Right.
It really
Right.
isn't. I want to thank you so much for
Of
coming on with
course.
us and talking to us and letting us know what's going on and how to get
Yeah.
involved and everything. Tawanda, this is Savvy is a road I'm looking to take, a newfound journey to be able to advocate and make a difference.
Yes.
Tawanda is local for me, so I love her to death.
Thank you. Thank you, Tawanda. Thank you for
And
participating.
yeah, and I love that she's on here because it's definitely something that
Yeah.
we've discussed before. So they can get in touch with you by applying at apply.savvy.coop, correct?
Yes, or you can email me directly. My email, I can put it, I don't, yeah, I think I can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'll tell you what it is. So my email is Eriel, that's Eriel,
Mm-hmm.
at savvy.coop. And my email is open to whoever wants to email me or ask a question or anything. You are welcome to do that. So I'll put it in this chat here too, just in case.
Awesome.
But yep, there it is. So
That's it.
feel free to contact me if you ever have any questions about Savvy, want to know more about how you can get involved, want to know more about how you can share what we do with your community. I'm happy to be your point of contact and your liaison for
Awesome.
that. So
Awesome. Eriel, it has been such a pleasure. It has
yes, the
been
pleasure
such
is
a, I
all
love what
mine.
you all are doing. Thank you, Ronnie, for showing up
Yes, thank you, Roddy.
and giving us a shout out. We really appreciate it. I'm so happy
Yeah.
that we are in contact and we can help other warriors, whether it be lupus or autoimmune or any type of chronic ill patient warrior.
Mhm.
I'm so happy to be in contact with you. and be able
Thank
to
you.
share this with you.
Likewise. Thank you so much. And thank you for all that you're doing for your community. Y'all are really, really doing amazing
you.
work. And
Thank
so
you.
we're just so happy to be involved with what you all have going on too. And we are happy to continue to be an active member in your community to share what you have happening on our platform too. And, you know, we're just looking to reach more and get more people involved. So that happens through this kind of connection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be sending you our calendar this weekend.
Yes, please do. I got you.
So thank you. I want to be respectful of your time. Is there anything else that you want to share with us before I let you go?
No, I mean, I think this is great. You can follow what Savvy's doing at Savvy_Coop on pretty much everything. And that's Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're always doing stuff. You can always follow us there. So yeah,
They have a
that's
lot
really
going
it.
on. They have a lot going on, and you guys can follow them over at Savvy_. I'm trying to find the underscore on my little computer.
Yes.
I'm doing too many different things at one
At
time.
once, I understand.
At Savvy_Coop.
Yes.
On
There
all
it
social
is.
media. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Eriel. I'm
Of
so excited to be
course.
working with you all. And I can't
Yes.
wait to share this with more warriors and other chronic ill patients.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Raquel.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm so excited that you all were able to come in and see what Savvy Cooperative is all about. It's such a great company. It's so much information that she has given us. So we're going to provide this on our social medias as a link that you can look back at. You can watch it on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube. And we'll be placing it on Instagram if you missed it on today. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope that some of the information was helpful. Please go on and sign up for Savvy Co-op. A great company, and it is something that you will not regret. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Remember to go to apply.savvy.coop. And then you can sign in and you can see everything that they have listed that you might want to be a part of. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.